Ethan Carter checked his watch for the third time in 2 minutes and exhaled slowly, trying not to look as nervous as he felt. The apartment was unusually quiet, the kind of quiet that only existed when his 5-year-old daughter Lily was asleep and the world outside had temporarily paused. Tonight was supposed to be simple. A blind date, coffee, conversation, nothing more. And yet his chest felt tight. He glanced down the hallway toward Lily's room, the door slightly open, her soft nightlight spilling a warm glow onto the carpet. Hearing a nanny had taken him weeks of hesitation. Trust didn't come easily anymore, not after his wife's passing, not after learning how fragile happiness could be. But his sister had insisted. "You can't put your life on hold forever, Ethan," she'd said. "You deserve a second chance." The doorbell rang. Ethan straightened, ran a hand through his hair, and opened the door. A young woman stood there, holding a small canvas bag and a folded piece of paper. She had soft brown hair pulled back into a loose ponytail and eyes that seemed too calm for someone meeting a stranger. She smiled politely. "Hi, I'm here for the babysitting job. I'm Ava." Ethan blinked, surprised. "Oh yes, hi, sorry, I thought you'd be older." Ava laughed gently. "I get that a lot." He stepped aside, letting her in. "Lily's already asleep. She usually sleeps through the night, but if she wakes up, she likes warm milk. And she has a stuffed elephant she won't sleep without." "That's okay," Ava said, slipping off her shoes. "I've worked with kids her age, I'll be fine." Something about her voice settled him, eased the tension in his shoulders. He showed her around quickly, explained emergency numbers, and pointed out the kitchen. When he reached for his coat, Ava hesitated. "You're going out?" she asked. "Yeah, just a date," he said awkwardly. She smiled again, a little softer this time. "I hope it goes well." Ethan nodded, then left, not noticing the way Ava watched him go, her expression shifting into something thoughtful, almost conflicted. Across town, the cafe was warm and softly lit, the kind of place designed for quiet conversations and second chances. Ethan arrived early, ordered a coffee, and checked his phone. His blind date's name was Ava Reynolds. That coincidence made him smile faintly. The bell above the cafe door chimed. Ethan looked up and froze. She stood there scanning the room, wearing a light sweater and jeans, her hair now loose around her shoulders. The same eyes, the same calm presence. "Ava." Their eyes met at the exact same moment, and recognition struck them both like a sudden gust of wind. Her smile faltered. His coffee cup paused halfway to his lips. "Oh," Ava said softly. Ethan stood abruptly, nearly knocking his chair over. You're the nanny," she finished, equally stunned. "And you're the blind date." For a moment neither of them moved. The absurdity of it all hung between them, thick and unreal. "Well," Ethan said finally, rubbing the back of his neck, "this is unexpected." Ava let out a nervous laugh. "That's one way to put it." They sat down anyway, because walking away felt wrong and staying felt strangely right. Conversation started stiff, cautious, but gradually loosened. They talked about work, about books, about how strange dadding felt after loss. Ethan didn't mention his wife at first, but Ava noticed the shadow that crossed his face when certain topics came up. "You don't have to talk about it," she said gently. He met her gaze, surprised by her understanding. "I lost my wife 3 years ago." "I'm sorry," Ava said, and meant it deeply. Something shifted then. Walls lowered. The date stretched longer than planned, laughter replacing nerves. Ethan forgot to check his watch. Until his phone buzzed. A message from Ava, the nanny. "Lily woke up. She's asking for you." Ethan's heart jumped. "I need to go." "I'll come with you," Ava said immediately, standing. "I mean, I'm already there." The drive back was quiet, heavy with unspoken thoughts. When they entered the apartment, Lily was sitting on the couch, clutching her elephant, eyes red from crying. "Daddy," she cried, running into Ethan's arms. "I'm here, sweetheart," he whispered, holding her close. Lily peeked over his shoulder at Ava. "She's nice," she said seriously. Ava smiled, kneeling to Lily's level. "I'm glad you think so." That night, after Lily fell asleep again, Ethan and Ava stood awkwardly in the kitchen. "I don't know what this means," Ethan said honestly. Ava nodded. "Me neither, but maybe we don't have to decide tonight." Days passed, then weeks. Ava continued babysitting. Sometimes Ethan stayed home. Sometimes they talked long after Lily slept. Trust grew slowly, carefully. Ava learned about Ethan's grief, the guilt he carried for even wanting happiness again. Ethan learned about Ava's past, her fear of commitment, her belief that love always arrived when you least expected it, usually disguised as something else. One evening, as Lily colored at the table, she looked up and said, "Are you my mom now?" The question stunned them both. Ava swallowed. Ethan felt his chest tighten. "I don't know," Ava said softly, "but I care about you very much." Lily smiled, satisfied, and went back to coloring. Later that night, Ethan found Ava on the balcony, staring at the city lights. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Me too," he said. "But," she continued, turning to him, "I think some things are worth the risk." Ethan reached for her hand, tentative but hopeful. She didn't pull away. Under the quiet sky, with the weight of the past behind them and the uncertainty of the future ahead, they stood together. No longer just a single dad and a nanny, no longer strangers brought together by coincidence, but two people choosing to believe that sometimes love finds you twice, when you least expect it, and exactly when you need it most.